وسهلا بكل الذين ينضموا للاستماع إلى راديو بلدي، أول راديو عربي أمريكي ويعنى بقضايا العرب في المهجر. برامجنا في راديو بلدي كل يوم جمعة من 8 وحتى 9 صباحا مع ليلى الحسيني في بث حي ومباشر وعبر WNZK راديو 690 AM. صباح الخير بلدي، صباح الخير لكل مستمعينا.
Welcome to Radio Baladi, the first Arab, Middle Eastern, and American simulcast radio show. Radio Baladi is broadcast every Friday morning on WNZK 690 AM from 8 until 9 Eastern Time on Good Morning Michigan with Layla Al-Husseini. Our call-in number 248-557-3300. And now, stay tuned for the best radio talk show on Arab and American issues with your host, Layla Al-Husseini.
Good morning, and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem, editor of Michigan.com and host of the Local Connections on US Arab Radio, the best ethnic radio in North America. Today is Friday, February 15th, 2019, and we are glad that you're with us. This show is brought to you in cooperation between Michigan.com and US Arab Radio. The number here is 248-557-3300. Should you have a comment or a question in Arabic or English, give us a call. Again, the number is 248-557-3300. It is 33 degrees now, and it's going to be colder today. The temperature could drop to the mid-20s later in the evening. Yes, it is cold, but I'm sure that if you fill your heart with love and warmth and spread hope and positive energy to everyone around you, we'll all be warm. I'm going to share with you a quick notes in Arabic, and then we're going to continue in English, which is نسمة الصباح. سيدي سادتي أسعد الله صباحكم. لا تنتظر شروق الشمس من نافذتك، اجعلها تشرق من داخلك. صباح الورد والياسمين والفل إليكم جميعا. Again, we continue in English. It is winter, but we are not complaining. Instead, we're thankful for being alive, for being in good health, for all the blessings around us. We thank the Lord for all of that. Again, I will read the quick prayer in Arabic as well. اللهم ارزقنا التقوى فإنها أفضل المراتب، وارزقنا التواضع فإنه أحسن الصفات، وارزقنا الإحسان فإنه أجمل الأعمال، وادخلنا الجنة برحمتك وأنت أرحم الراحمين. أسأل الله تعالى العلي القدير أن يديم السكينة في قلوبكم والسعادة في بيوتكم والصحة في أبدانكم والرحمة والمغفرة لكم ولوالديكم. أسعد الله أيامكم and happy Friday. Before we go on, I also want to mention something very important. You know, of all the things that US Arab Radio does, and sometimes we don't get the recognition we really deserve, but this time we really did. I want to congratulate US Arab Radio and its founder, Layla Al-Husni, on a great recognition that we received recently, and the Arab Culture Center in France has recognized US Arab Radio for its strong programming and promoting humanitarian causes, peace, and tolerance. The announcement came recently during the center's celebration of the International Day for Media and Radio Broadcasting. US Arab Radio extends its gratitude to the center and pledges to continue working for peace and mercy in the world. Congratulations to everyone at US Arab Radio, and we also a special congratulations to Layla Al-Husni, the founder of US Arab Radio. It's well deserved, and we wish you the best. We're going to continue with our programming. In the news, excuse me, the biggest news this morning is the shutdown in Washington. Thank God we're going to be averting that. However, we're going to be getting into a different crisis right now, which is the president decided to sign the bill to continue to fund the government, but he said that he will declare a national emergency, which it will set a precedence, a bad precedence. Every time the president wants something, whether it is warranted or not, and he can't get it through Congress, then he will declare a national emergency. I mean, how sad could it be? We send these guys to Washington, men and women, that is, and they don't even get along to do the job they were supposed to do because their ego is getting in the way and the partisan politics get in the way. And it's really unfortunate because they're supposed to work together. And what they do, no, the president said, well, I will declare a national emergency so I can build the wall because I said I want to build the wall. Is that really enough? Is that really enough? Because I want to build the wall. Do we need a wall? Maybe we do. I'm not sure whether we do or not. Maybe we do need a wall. Why don't we form a nonpartisan group to study the issue at the border and see what we need? Maybe we need sophisticated surveillance. Maybe we need a totally different set of laws or sets of laws to tackle the issue on the southern border. And I'm not saying that we may not need, we're not going to use a wall. Maybe we do. Let's do it for the right reason, not because the president's ego is in the way and he says, oh, I made a promise and I want to do it and I need $8 billion for a wall. Now they gave him 1.5 and now he wants $8 billion. The other day it was $6 billion. And remember, the president said during the election that Mexico will pay for the wall. Well, I guess Mexico is not paying for the wall. He is paying for the wall. Mexico is not even paying for anything. So, why don't they just get together and do the right thing? Yes, I make it so simple, but actually it is simple. Isn't this why they went to Washington? To represent us, to work for us, or to fight among each other and get their egos in the way? Well, we really hope that both the Democrats and Republicans and the president and everybody get together and be reasonable. Just because you make a promise during the election doesn't mean that, we have to lose everything so you can fulfill your promise. It is your promise because you're not going to get elected if you don't fulfill your promise. You're going to look weak. That's not what this whole thing is all about, Mr. President. You need, and Congress, and Republicans, and Democrats, you all need to work together. Going to move to a different issue, which is tax. Everybody now or most people are filing for taxes right now. And here's the rude awakening. And here's what really we found out. And we knew that all along, but people didn't listen to us at the time. When they did the tax reform, we knew that they were planning to nail the poor. Because now most people who depend on those refunds just to either pay some bills or pay some debts that they have, now they're getting maybe half of their refunds. And here's what they did. They gave us a few pennies in a tax break, and now they're taking hundreds and hundreds of dollars in refund. My friends, if you're poor, you got nothing. If you're really poor, you got nothing. Yes, the rich got a break, the middle class got some break, but if you're poor, you got nothing. So what you need to do is you need to talk to your tax person. Don't do your taxes yourself. You need to talk to someone who really knows if you can do deductions and if you can do other things. Talk to someone who really knows what they're doing to help you to make sure you capitalize on all your deductions. Otherwise, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. I know people who last year got maybe $3,000-4,000. This year they owe money. Isn't that sad? You go and you think you're going to get some refund back, and then you end up like you have to pay Uncle Sam more. It's really sad. And what's really sad is that the media didn't do a good job trying to explain what these tax reforms are all about at the time. They didn't really do a good job of telling people. Of course, the government didn't do it because they wanted it to pass. And politicians tell you, we're going to save you money, we're going to save you money. At the end of the day, you're not saving any money. Now, when the refunds come, people get in a lot less. So if you're poor, you got screwed. Another issue I want to bring it to your attention, since our show is the local connection, and in Lansing they passed a new law, which is if there is an emergency vehicle on the highway in the right lane, you need to switch lanes and you need to drop your speed by 10 miles. You cannot continue at the same speed. And this was done to protect emergency workers, because we haven't really got a good job of really respecting these workers. So if you don't do that, you're going to get fined. So what you do is, if you're driving on the highway, it's 70 miles an hour, you see a policeman, a policewoman, whatever, a deputy, a trooper, or an emergency vehicle, pulling over on the side of the road, you need to switch lanes and you need to drop your speed by 10 miles so you don't get fined. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and continue talking about some of the events in the news. Please stay tuned.
If halal is important to your family, you can trust that Miramar will offer not only the highest quality halal products, but the best tasting and healthiest foods that can be placed on your family table with confidence. Miramar is the first and oldest halal certified food brand in America, serving the Arab and Muslim community, and offers a wide range of halal food products. Check out Miramar's halal food selection today by visiting Miramar's executive distributor, Ziyad Brothers Importing, at www.ziyad.com.
When it comes to reproductive medicine, IVF Michigan Fertility Centers are the recognized leaders. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 5 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. As a founding member of IVF Michigan Fertility Centers, Dr. Nicholas Shama is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. Dr. Shama has performed over 10,000 IVF cases and has helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. American board certified in both obstetrics and gynecology and reproductive endocrinology and infertility, Dr. Nicholas Shama is a very caring, compassionate, expert physician that understands not only the medical but also the emotional toil of infertility on his patients. When it's time, get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio. Call toll-free 855-952-9600, 855-952-9600.
It's all in one grocery store, and that store is Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market. Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market offers fresh vegetables, halal meats, a great fresh bakery, as well as nuts and spices and much more. They also offer special deals every Wednesday, so don't forget to ask for your favorite foods, as shish kebabs are ready to go. So please stop by Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market at 24065 Orchard Lake Road in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-476-0300. Again, that phone number is 248-476-0300, and they are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Zam Zam Fresh Foods Market is your one-place stop for all your grocery shopping needs and your favorite foods.
Life is a nonprofit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. We're going to continue our discussion about what's going on in the news. What do you think of the shutdown, which is hopefully and thankfully has been averted and is no longer on the table? But it was really sad news to listen to what the president is planning to do in Congress. And here's why. Now Congress is saying we will not let the president do that. And then the court will step in, and the court will say whether this is really warranted or not. And, think of all of this energy that's being spent to fight among each other. To do what? To do something that the president wanted because he promised a wall on the Mexican border, U.S.-Mexican border. And how did he really think that this wall is needed? How did he really think that this is the solution? When we listen to the experts from the security experts on the border, and they say most of our problems come from the gates, not from the walls. The issue of illegal immigration has been part of this country for hundreds of years, and will continue to be part of this country. We will never, ever find a 100% solution for it. All we can do is manage it, and we need to manage it well. Let's face it, and I don't promote anybody to break the laws or do anything, but and there are ways in which people can apply for asylum in the United States from their own countries. And why don't we take a look at these laws and see how we can improve them, and how we can make them better, and we can make them easier for people to apply, so they don't have to sneak into the country. And it makes it really tough. It makes it tough on children. It makes it tough on families when whole family cross the border. Sometimes they don't make it. Sometimes they get killed, and sometimes they become a prey for those people who pay money for traffickers. It is really a problem, and we know it is a problem. Most of the drugs, unlike what the president said, most of the drugs that comes into our country comes through checkpoints, comes through the gates. Most of the criminals come from there. These people who cross and I'm not saying they should be granted asylum, and I'm not saying they should be allowed to do that. But people who really cross, they cross because they're looking for better opportunity. So the argument that, criminals are coming and going through the country, through the border, is not correct. They're coming through the gates. So what we need is a different security. Maybe we need more sophisticated security. Maybe we do need walls here and there in certain areas to prevent people from walking through. So is that really the answer? We don't know. The only reason we need to do that is because the president said he wanted it done. And, this isn't how things should be done in Washington. And it really should be done differently. I mean, think about it. How much time have we spent on this fight? Don't we have other issues? How about insurance? How about health care? The state of healthcare in this country is one of the most miserable issues that we have to deal with. In my belief, healthcare and education, these are human rights issues. These are issues that really every American should have access to healthcare. Every American, whether you work or not, and specifically if you work 40 hours a week, you should have access to education. Why do you have to pay so much money to send your children to college so they can earn an education and make a living? Where's the opportunity? Why do we have to do that? Why is it other countries, European countries, even some third world countries, spend half of what we spend on healthcare and don't get anywhere? And we really, and they have much better healthcare than we do. Why is that? Why don't we find a solution for that? Because we continue to fight among each other. I'm Republican. I'm Democrat. I'm conservative. I'm liberal. I don't like you. I'm not going to work with you. And it's really sad. Good morning, Amer. Is Amer with us this morning?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We're going to continue the conversation. My friend and valuable colleague, Amer Zahr, is joining us. Amer is a law professor. He's also a comedian, as you well know. And Amer is one of the most successful person in our community. I'm glad. I'm honored to call him a friend. Thank you so much for being on the show.
No, it's my honor. Good morning.
Absolutely. Good morning to you as well. And, we've been talking about two important issues, which is, what's really going on in Washington and the dysfunctional atmosphere that we have there. And then the taxes. Now people are finding, guess what? You're not really getting the breaks you get. They gave you $100 there. Now they're taking thousands from you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it turns out, surprise, surprise, that Trump lied to everybody. And turns out...
No, Trump doesn't lie. What are you talking about?
Right. It turns out, surprise, surprise, that this tax plan that he pushed through with the Republicans, which is really the only thing he's been able to do because it's the only thing they all actually agree on, was basically a gift to the rich, as many of us were saying. I mean, we saw... There was a news report this morning that under the new tax plan, Netflix last year posted $845 million in profits And under the new tax plan, they are paying zero in federal taxes. So this is the world that Trump and his friends, his Republican friends in Congress, has brought us into financially. It is a betrayal of priorities to the American people. It is a way of telling working class and poor people that we don't care about you, that this system is only meant to make the rich richer. And it's exactly what we're seeing. And I just heard you talking about, why can't our kids get educated correctly? Why can't we make sure that that's a priority? It's because we are not prioritizing things correctly. We're using our budget to make sure that people on Wall Street and corporations get as rich and as fat as possible, to make sure that the military-industrial complex is making as much money as possible. We have 11 aircraft carriers. China has 1. We have the largest military in the world by far. We are engaged in needless, senseless wars, which Trump pretends like he wants to get out of, but never actually does. We have enough money to educate every single person in this country. We are giving money away in the wrong way. We don't need to raise taxes to educate people. And on top of that, as Arab Americans and Palestinian Americans well know, we are giving $3 to $5 billion a year to Israel, and the water in Flint is still dirty. It's been 5 years. The water in Flint is still dirty. It costs $1 billion to replace the entire water infrastructure system in Flint. We could not fund Israel for 1 year and build that system 3 times. Our priorities are messed up. We have the money, but our priorities are messed up.
38 cities. We can do that in 38 cities. Because we gave Israel 38 billion.
Exactly. He gave 38 billion over time, but even just every year, it's 3 to 5 billion. And so it is a question of priorities. And then people get mad at Ilhan Omar when she says, "Hey, AIPAC controls politics. Maybe we should look at that again." And they make her apologize and accuse her ridiculously of being anti-Jewish. This is the political world that we're. So is Washington messed up? Yes, but it's nothing new. It's been going on forever, and finally there's a few voices in there that are saying, look, we need to steer money in different ways. We don't need to raise more money. We need to steer money in different ways. But what you hear from Republicans and people on the right, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm way to the left of Democrats. But what you hear from Republicans and people on the right is, no, we don't have enough money for those things. Well, the only reason we don't have enough money for those things is because you want to keep the systems of overfunding a ridiculous military budget and making sure rich people stay as rich as possible. But if we made our priorities correct, like countries in Europe, we would have everybody would be smart. We wouldn't have a dumb population, and where no one can win a game show called "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?"
Absolutely, absolutely. On the Ilhan issue, I think the issue was it's not really what she said. I mean, they wanted to go after her, but the issue is how she said it. And if I were her, I would stick to numbers instead of using stigmas, which is I don't think that she was really aware of because she was not born in this country, and it's an educational issue, and it just requires a little bit of education. I think eventually she'll be okay.
Well, I think so too, but here's the thing. With Ilhan and with Rashida, the pro-Israel lobby is not going to care how Ilhan says it or how Rashida says it. They're going to go after them. That's why there's no use in apologizing, because the apology is not going to mean anything to those who wish you harm and wish to attack you. If Ilhan would have come out in some very intelligent way and said, hey, AIPAC controls too much of our politics with their money, they would have said the same thing and gone after her the same way. She happened to use a rap lyric, so they went after her. But they're going to go after. They're going to try to tear down Rashida and Ilhan no matter what words they use, because they want to protect the system that they're in. So at the end of the day, can we argue about maybe she should have said it better? Of course. But the truth is, as you know, as I know, especially when it comes to politics, the mere fact that we are Arabs, that we are part of a Muslim community, the mere fact that we are trying to bring some light to the Palestinian issue, no matter how we do it. Look at Edward Said. He was an award-winning professor, but they still called him anti-Semitic, and they will try to tear us down at every chance that they get.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's. I mean, it was expected that the traps will be set for them, and I wish that they didn't really have the experience at the national level, either one of them, or and I hope that they do it differently, and to go back to the Pickering in Washington, just how much energy are we wasting on these issues? It's just amazing. Can you imagine if we work together instead of working against each other? These people we send to Washington to do their job.
I agree, but I think it's also important that we send people who reflect our priorities. So I want people to work together, but if there's a congresswoman in Washington saying that hey, we spend too much money on our military, and we need to spend more money on our education, and people start calling her divisive, that's okay with me. If we need to spend a little bit of time rocking the boat because the system has been so skewed for so long, if we need to spend a little bit of time rocking the boat to get our message across, then hey, maybe we have to do that for a little while. And the truth is, it's working. The American public has been listening to, from the time Bernie ran for president until now, they've been listening to these messages. Now, these positions like having a Medicare option for all, trying to figure out a way to make public universities and colleges tuition-free. Those were fringe positions a few years ago. Now they are mainstream positions in the Democratic Party followers and in much of America as a whole. So we had to rock the boat a little bit. Unfortunately, when it comes to real social, political, and systemic change, the American people are the first ones to move, and those in Congress are usually the last ones to move. So if we have to be allowed a little bit, then hey, that's the nature of activism. Maybe this is just my Palestinian spirit, man. I just want to demonstrate and protest every day, Khalil.
I love what you said about weddings when you said that's so funny. Palestinian wedding starts as a wedding and then becomes a demonstration, a riot. Could you share that with us?
Well, not a riot, within a demonstration, within 30 to 45 minutes, we try to have fun for the first half an hour, and then we remember that we've been occupied for 70 years, and it immediately turns into a protest. And Lebanese people Lebanese people have been occupied too, but they just handle it with much more, deep. It seems like I go to Palestinian protests, and we have megaphones, and we have flags, and I go to Lebanese protests, and there's usually like a DJ in the corner, and then a ergila over here, and everyone is just having a good time. But I remember I performed at a New Year's Eve party in Dearborn a few years ago, and the crowd was about half Lebanese and half Palestinian, and it got timed down to midnight, and it was countdown time, and everyone was getting ready to celebrate, and 10, 9, 8, and all the Lebanese people were up on their chairs, 3, 2, 1, 0, and all the Lebanese people started kissing each other and telling them Happy New Year and hugging, and the Palestinians were just sitting in the corner holding their cigarettes and saying, another year of occupation and oppression. It's different, but we all love each other. We're all brothers and sisters, and I love you, my brother Khalil.
Last time we had he's a really good medical doctor, and he's a good friend of ours. He was playing volleyball with us. And, after we play volleyball, the team that loses, they have to go out and somebody else has to come in. And this guy just got out right away. And I said, where are you going? You just got here. He goes, well, I'm used to being kicked out. I said, no. Here in the volleyball, you're like everybody else, man. Nobody's going to kick you out. He said, yeah, man, I'm just used to being kicked out. I said, okay.
Khalil, I play volleyball with you and my Lebanese friends on Tuesdays, and it's fun, and it's laid back, and, nobody really cares about the score, and we're just having a good time, and everybody's very supportive. And then on Saturday night, I play volleyball in Dearborn with all Palestinians. And, that is different. That is a lot angrier. You can't mess up. You can't try to spike when you're not supposed to spike. You can't try to do a jump serve. If you try to do something that you're not supposed to do, everyone looks at you and goes, see, this is why we don't have a country. Because people like you are doing all these things all the time. It immediately becomes a flashback, and just, everything is traumatic.
Absolutely. You know, I also wanted to ask you to tell us a little bit about your radio show, your new gig.
Yes. Well, it is on a station called 910 AM in Detroit. Their studio is out of Farmington Hills on 10 Mile and Evergreen. And I have guest hosted there many times, and they finally gave me a daily talk show from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. And it's the only Arab American-led daily talk show here in the Detroit area, so I'm very proud to do that. Also, our good friend Osama Siblani will be starting a weekend show, 1 hour a week on Saturdays there as well. And it's a mostly African-American listenership, but I'm trying to get more Arabs to listen to the station as well. We talk about Detroit issues. We talk about national politics. We talk about black-Arab relations in Detroit, which to me is wildly important that we talk about those things. And yes, I talk about Palestine. Today I'll be talking about a little bit about Ilhan and this sort of scandal that we've been talking about as well. So all of these things are open, and it's a call-in, listener-based show. Usually I'll introduce a topic, and then the calls start coming in. It's just conversations for 2 hours, and it's a lot of fun, and I encourage people to either tune in through my Facebook page, which is just Amer Zahr, AMERZAHR. 910 AM Superstation also has a Facebook page. But if you're in your car or in your office, you just tune to 910 AM. It's the HD station, and call in, and we'd love to have you part of the show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us, Amer, this morning. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks, but stop waking me up at 8 o'clock in the morning, man. I can't handle it.
I will.
On a Friday?
Now you have to get up anyway because you have your new gig at 9. So
yeah, I know, but still, I lost like 15 minutes of sleep because of you.
No problem. Right. No problem. Thank you so much, Amer. Good luck with the show.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
The Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab offers a great array of your favorite Mediterranean meals. Meals range from lamb specialties, shawarma sandwiches, seafood dinners, and they offer special big trays of your favorite food, plus much more. Kushat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab address is 32839 Northwestern Highway in Farmington Hills. Their phone number is 248-538-9552. That number again is 248-538-9552, and the supermarket is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Kushat's Mediterranean Market and Shish Kebab will definitely leave you satisfied.
The Rama Relief Foundation provides humanitarian aid into areas inside of war-torn Syria, as well as aid to the refugees who have fled to the neighboring countries in the Middle East. The foundation offers food baskets, container shipment, mental health, education, soup kitchens, and more. Go to ramarelief.org or call 248-990-4247. Any donation amount made to Rama will go to sustaining many lives. Call now 248-990-4247.
انتهى الاجتماع ومحتارين هناكل فين.
من الآخر وبدون تفكير أورشد فودز أفضل وأحسن قرار.
عنده أكلات طيبة يا ترى؟
أورشد فودز عنده أفضل تشكيلة من المحاشي والمشاوي والمقبلات والسلطات والفطاير، وكمان بتتسوق لكل احتياجات الجروسري والملحمة وغيره بأسعار خاصة بمناسبة الأعياد، والأحلى إنه بنفس المكان.
على ضمانتك أروح وأجرب.
ولو على ضمانة الشيف، وبجودة وخدمة ممتازة وسعر منافس، ولو عندك مناسبة خليها عليهم.
Orchard Foods and Grocery يقع على Orchard Lake Road بين 12 و 13 مايل في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز. رقم الهاتف 248-516-3121 248-516-3121.
وعلى رأي المثل لقمة هنية بتكفي 100.
When you're looking for the best in optical care, Dr. Imad Nakash is your doctor to see. With years of experience and thousands of successful procedures performed, you can trust your eyes to Dr. Imad Nakash. See Dr. Imad Nakash and his professional staff for your eye care needs. There's 2 locations to serve you. In Hazel Park, call 248-336-3937. 248-336-3937. In Rochester Hills, call 248-299-3937. That's 248-299-3937.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. And we thank Amer for being with us this morning. And we're going to shift to a totally different topic right now. And as winter is here, we're going to be talking to Tom Rusco from house to home inspections to help us learn how to protect our home from water and from the cold. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Khalil. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you? Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and your listeners.
Yes, I always appreciate your input and your information. And so, what's the best way to protect our homes from water?
Sure. There's again, we've done this a few times, and I always like to focus on things that the homeowner themselves can do. So there's a few simple things that we can do ourselves versus hiring contractors to do that can help protect our house against the winter elements: snow, wind, ice, rain, and not just protect it, but make the home run a little more efficiently and effectively. Ways to cut down your heat bills as well. Some of the things that we're going to go over. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, and I'll start on the exterior first. First, on the roof, as we get a lot of snow, the snow builds up, and then it can actually run over your flashing around your chimney, and maybe it covers up your roof vents, and then when it melts, it can't enter the home into the attic or around wherever the roof openings are. So the first thing we want to do is keep that snow accumulation down on our roof. But with this one, clearing snow can be a little dangerous. If you're not comfortable being on a ladder, then I'd recommend having a handyman or somebody like that do it. But make sure whoever you do hire would be insured. That's the number one thing. But if you're going to do it yourself, it's nothing more than a ladder up to the eaves. Now, there are tools that you can purchase, at the Home Depot, Lowe's, those places where you can, it's a snow removal tool. You don't want to use a rake. You don't want to use a shovel. We have seen customers do that, prior home inspection customers, and then we come back out in the spring, they got a roof problem, and we can see where they've raked their shingles and have damaged them with shovels, whatever it is. So make sure you use, even if it's a broom, to just scoop as much of the snow. You don't have to get it all off. You just want to keep it down to a few inches versus a foot of snow on your roof. Now, the second thing on the outside is the ice gutter, or the ice damming in the gutters. You want to make sure your gutters are draining properly. This is probably the number one issue that we will find in homes in the wintertime is the gutters get blocked, they start to build up with ice, and that ice will then work underneath the shingles. It's called ice damming, and now you're going to have water coming into your attic. So make sure that the gutters are cleared, draining properly. There are a couple of things you can do to make sure that they drain properly. One is they do have salt pellets, and they're little tablets. You can put them in the drainer as the ice comes in and rain comes in. It keeps it from freezing. So they're very inexpensive. The water to flow. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then there's also what are called electric gutter de-icing cables, and that's going to be an electric system. It's just a cable you put in the gutter, and it heats up, and you got to plug it in and unplug it as necessary. But again, those are not terribly expensive either. And then the third thing on the gutters is make sure you have downspout extenders on your gutters. Having all that roof water as it drains falling right next to your foundation is going to create an issue with your basement, water in your basement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and those, those downspout extenders are a couple of bucks, and they only have to move the water a foot or two away from the foundation to keep your foundation safe from the thaws. Yeah. And then the second thing on the outside, faucets. You want to make sure that you drain the faucets. By that, I mean on the interior of a house, there's normally a shut-off valve on the water line to the exterior faucets. Shut that valve off, and then on the outside of the home, open the valve and leave it open throughout the winter. And that's going to allow any water to drain out. If there is any water left in the line as it freezes and expands, it'll have room to go, and you won't have a burst pipe in your basement. And there's nothing worse than that. I've had it happen to me.
So that's not pretty.
Come home, and you had 3 inches of water in your basement, and you've got a burst pipe. Yeah. So, again, that's an easy thing to do. The other thing, if you have lawn or sprinkler equipment, that's something that I would recommend you have a professional do. To drain all the lines, all the water out of the lines throughout the yard is very difficult. Normally a company comes in with a compressor and then actually blows them out. I would recommend if you do have lawn irrigation system, you have a professional do that. And the cost is not going to be real expensive, $75 to $125, or just say around $100 would probably get that done for anybody.
Sure.
And then you also have siding on the outside. If you've got a wood siding or, say, a cementous board siding, if you've got vinyl or aluminum siding, this is not as big a deal because, that stuff doesn't rot. Where if you have a wood-sided exterior, if you have any exposed areas where the paint has come off, paint over top of it. If it needs to be treated with a stain, treat it with a stain. A little bit of paint goes a long ways towards, protecting against a much larger problem. So it might be a little late for that. If you get a warm day, you do have...
Is that right? It has to be specialized paint that is for outside and for water intrusion.
Yeah, well, actually, any exterior paint's going to work.
Okay.
Yeah, just an exterior paint from, any brand is fine. I'm not big on having a particular brand of paint, but any exterior paint would be perfect for that, yeah.
Sure.
And then the other one, windows.
Yeah.
You want to seal on your window frames with an exterior caulk, and you want to prevent air penetration into the house. Nothing worse than a cool breeze coming in your house in the middle of wintertime. Your energy bills are going to be higher. You're going to be less comfortable. You're going to be wearing a sweater all the time. So easy to do, very inexpensive, and that's caulk around your windows on the exterior. Now, you don't have to caulk every window. They're supposed to all be caulked when you buy your house, but caulking does deteriorate. So what I recommend is on the inside of the home, light a match, blow it out, and then while the match is smoking, run it around the interior of the window frame, and then you'll be able to see where you're having air penetration coming around the window frame, and that's the one you have to do, the air you have to do on the outside of the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, very easy to do. And again, that's probably the number one thing that'll cut down on everybody's energy bill.
Yeah, windows
especially
are a big source of window doors, a big source of penetration of air into the home.
Absolutely, and you did mention a good point right there, and that is on doors. Weather stripping is extremely inexpensive as well. So the same thing with the match around the window. If you did it around your door, you probably find some gaps there around your doors. And again, it's nothing more than weather stripping. You buy it in a roll, and you take the old one off, peel it off, and you tack the new one up. Very simple for a homeowner to do. And again, under $20. So.
Yeah.
And then the other thing on the outside is site grading. And by that I mean is our homes all should have the ground sloping away from the foundation to move water away from it. And so that's what I mean about your site grading. You should have a negative slope away from the foundation. So simple thing to do, walk the perimeter of the house. Again, if we've got a lot of snow, it's not a time to do it, but when we don't have snow, walk the perimeter so you can see. And if you have any flat spots or even depressions, those need to be filled in. And you should be looking for about a 1-inch slope for every 3 foot of a run away from your house. And by that I mean 3 feet line, you drop it 1 inch on one end, and that's all you need to do to keep the water moving away from your house.
Yeah. This is a very important issue. I see it a lot. I see homes every day when I'm showing homes. Most homes have issue with site grading, and then they complain to me about, look at all the water and the moisture in the basement. Well, you're keeping the water near your walls and foundation. Of course, there's going to be moisture in there.
Right, and it's a bag of dirt. Dirt is very inexpensive. $1.50 to $2 for a 1 cubic foot of dirt, and normally a few bags of dirt can do solve the problem. So again, it's a little labor intensive, but hey, it's your castle. Put a little labor into it, or have a handyman or somebody spread it around, or one of the neighbor kids. Somebody might want to make a couple of bucks. It's not an expensive thing to do.
That's right. Okay. So on the interior, what do we have to do?
Yeah, then on the interior of the house, first, as a safety issue, test all your carbon monoxide and smoke detectors. You should be doing that a couple of times a year anyway, but as we come into the winter season, we have our houses closed up, our furnaces are blasting, full time, and that does create a combustible gas, carbon monoxide. It's supposed to go out your chimney, but, if your furnace is starting to fail, then you could have a carbon monoxide leak. And plus, we're all running, if we have fireplaces, we like to have fires and things like that. So it's just a bigger concern this time of year about carbon monoxide in our houses. And we know that's the silent, deadly killer. So we do want to make sure we're protecting ourselves and our family. So simple enough, push that button on your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and make sure they're working.
Yep.
Okay. And then on your HVAC system, your heating, ventilation, air conditioning systems, first let's cover the air conditioning. That's simple. There's a compressor unit that sits on the outside of the home that basically dissipates the heat and brings cool into the house during the heating system, during the cooling season, spring, summer. That system, that unit is called the compressor. If you cover that, it's going to extend its life. Just protect it from the winter elements. It won't rust up, the fins on it won't get damaged, and it won't accumulate snow inside of the unit. Even if your clients did nothing more, or your listeners did nothing more than cover the top of it with a piece of wood, that would keep the fan and everything inside from accumulating with snow. Or there are covers you can buy for them. And again, they are under $25, very inexpensive as well. But that will extend the life of your compressor unit.
Absolutely.
And then the most important thing is the furnace now. I think it's a great idea to have an annual service on your furnace. It's not terribly expensive, around $100, but it will ensure your furnace is safe and running as efficiently as it can. $100 is not a bad price to pay for ensuring that your furnace is working properly. You may have to have it tuned up. Yeah, and it may even save you the money on, as it's running more efficiently. It would save you some more money on your heating bill as well, so that maintenance cost of around $100 would be offset. Now, if you can't do that, again, make sure you've tested your carbon monoxide or detector. So again, if you do have an issue, you would be aware of it at least. And then the other thing on your furnace, change your filters more often. Okay, that is a huge issue with failures on furnaces. People not cleaning or replacing their filters long enough or often enough. What would happen is the filter gets clogged, and now the furnace has to work harder to draw fresh air into it. That can all overheat the circuits inside, and you will not have an efficiently running furnace. And as we all know, filters are $10, $20. Replace them at least monthly in the wintertime. Recommend you replace them monthly throughout the year, but certainly in the wintertime, make sure you do have them replaced at least monthly, and your furnace will run much more efficiently.
Absolutely. How about the attic?
Well, the attic, pretty much the attic is a stick my head up there and look and see what's going on type of thing. Now, not many people will go up in their attic, but that's the only way to really know whether you've got issues with snow accumulation that's melted and got in through your gutter or through your vents or around your flashing, those types of things. That's got to be a visual look. Say, if you scrape, get a lot of ice and maybe you scrape some snow off your roof and you damage a shingle, that could also cause some water penetration. And as inspectors, when we look at houses and they're snow covered, I can't tell anybody about their shingles or what the condition of their roof is, but I can tell them whether they have a leak in their attic, because as home inspectors, we will go into the attic from one end to the other, because that's one of the most important parts of the house that our homeowner never goes into. So we do understand that, but again, it's something, if you think you've got an issue, you got to peek your head up in the attic and take a look around. Just be careful when you're walking through it if you do. Make sure, I bring up a board and try to use it to walk across or something, or at least stick your head up with a flashlight and you can look around. But that's the only way to know whether you've got water penetration in your attic before it gets into your living space, which is the ceiling of your first floor. Okay,
well, Tom, I really want to thank you for being with us. And if somebody needs to reach you or, for any information or any services, what's the number to reach you?
It's 888-848-0202, or they can contact me at tom@house2homeinspections.com, and the 2 is the letter 2, so the number 2, house, the number 2, homeinspections.com. And then also check my website out at www.house2homeinspections.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to have this info on our website, michigan.com, and also we'll have Tom's information is there as well if you need to reach him and you have any questions or you need any services. Tom, again, thank you so much for being with us this morning. This is valuable information.
Thank you, Khalid. You have a good day, and your listeners as well. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. Absolutely.
All right, bye, Khalil.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
تعرفوا شيء، احنا كتير بنهتم بالمقبلات بالاكل الشامي،
واحنا بنهتم بالبهارات والتسبيكة في الاكل المصري،
واحنا نهتم هواية باللحوم وجودتها بالاكل العراقي، واحنا في مطعم عشتار نهتم بيكم. اعتمدوا علينا ايا كان. نحن في عشتار نعرف ان لكل مذاق اسرار، فنحن نقدم اجود انواع اللحوم من ملحمة عشتار الواقعة على 56865 راين رود.
عشتار، قصة حضارة ترويها لكم أطباقنا المميزة في كل زيارة.
تفضلوا بزيارتنا في 3625 East 50 Mile Road, Sterling Heights.
مطعم عشتار بإدارة فادي بهنام وعلي البغدادي. 586-698-2585 586-698-2585.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
انتهى الاجتماع ومحتارين هناكل فين؟
من الآخر وبدون تفكير، أورشد فودز أفضل وأحسن قرار.
عنده أكلات طيبة يا ترى؟
أورشد فودز عنده أفضل تشكيلة من المحاشي والمشاوي والمقبلات والسلطات والفطاير، وكمان بتتسوق لكل احتياجات الجروسري والملحمة وغيره بأسعار خاصة بمناسبة الأعياد، والأحلى إنه بنفس المكان.
على ضمانتك أروح وأجرب،
ولو على ضمانة الشيف، وبجودة وخدمة ممتازة وسعر منافس، ولو عندك مناسبة خليها عليهم.
أورشارد فودز أند جروسري يقع على أورشارد ليك رود بين 12 و 13 مايل في مدينة فارمينغتون هيلز. رقم الهاتف 248-516-3121 248-516-3121.
وعلى رأي المثل، لقمة هنية بتكفي 100.
Life is a non-profit charity that's provided humanitarian aid and development to people and communities for over 25 years, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. When disaster occurs here or around the world, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. Please help improve these efforts. Make your tax-deductible donation to Life now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493.
Welcome back, and thank you for being with us. And I want to thank Tom for being with us with the valuable information. If you want to take a look at Michigan later on, so you can, copy or read the information that he mentioned on the radio today, on the show today, that you can get a copy of it. It's very important to mention something, which is the passing one of our colleagues in the community, Muhammad Jaber, who passed away a few weeks back. As you well know, Muhammad Jaber used to be the publisher of a Sabil magazine. He was been a journalist. He had been a journalist for a long time in Lebanon and did a really great job. And, what I want to bring to your attention is that the hard work we all do to serve this community and the difficult job we do, because unfortunately, we don't get the support we really should get from everyone in this community. Let me explain something to you. There are two different kinds of media. There's mainstream media. I worked for the Ann Arbor News for 10 years. I worked for the St. Petersburg Times in Florida and subsidiary of the Houston Chronicle in Texas. This is mainstream media, like the Detroit News, the Detroit Free Press, the Ann Arbor News. Mainstream media does not really care as much and don't have the resources to care as much about our community. It is us, U.S. Arab Radio, Michigan, and people like Muhammad Jaber used to do. These are the people who, let our voices be heard. These are the people who tell our narrative. These are the people who really make a difference. So supporting local media is very important. So we present our condolences to his family, and we really miss him. And then, we ask the Lord to take mercy on him and bless us all. One last thing I want to do, and we have 1 minute left, and that is the housing market is going to be blistering this year. And we're already getting to a huge start. We've had some of the busiest January, and it's already a busy February. If you thinking about selling, this is the year to do it. We really truly believe that this is the pinnacle, and this is the year to do it. And if you're thinking about buying, this is the year to do it. So if you're selling or buying, give me a call, 313-819-0101. 313-819-0101. Visit yamichigan.com. Michigan.com, and a lot of information there. I'll be more than happy to work with you and help you out. Either sell your property or find what you're looking for. I also have several commercial deals that I'm selling, including a hardware store, including a Palmer Concrete Company, and we also have a big warehouse in Dearborn for sale as well. Give me a call, 313-819-0101. They're all excellent deals, and they're all really good projects if you want to invest. Number is 313-819-0101. I want to thank you so much. Thank all our guests. Thank you for listening to us throughout this hour. And I want to wish you happy and safe and blessed Friday and good weekend. Again, if you're in the market for selling, buying real estate, give me a call. We have several commercial projects, 313-819-0101. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Goodbye now.